Hello folks, here's our second gameplay video of Dyson Sphere Program, where we'll see how to automate research by building matrix labs, and really build out our early automation infrastructure. Okay, so we're still on the same save as before, I'm afraid, which was filmed going into the game completely fresh, but I've been playing around in a different save now, so they should go a bit smoother. We'll probably need to rearrange a few things. Our main goal is to actually get some automated research going on, which will mean we need to manually research a bunch of stuff that we started last time. What we're doing at the moment is researching something that will allow us to do electromagnetic matrix and build the science lab itself, the matrix lab. And the science lab will create the blue cubes for us, which are basically units of research. So let's get on with that. We need to craft a few things. We'll need to craft some magnetic coils and some circuit boards, which means we will probably need to make sure that we've got a full stock of everything. These storage bins, we'll probably not need to worry about them. We made those last time, but we don't really want the conveyor belts filling those up, really. Not really. That's a bit strange, but all to the good. Right, okay, so let's craft. Let's get some of these coils. Let's produce... as usual, it's best to do bulk, so I'll do 20 of those, and that'll take a bit of time to actually get going. And we've already queued up the assembler research, which will allow us to take raw materials and turn them into more advanced stuff like the circuit boards and the magnets and stuff like that. In the early game, if you're just waiting around, it's best just to cut down some trees so we can continuously refuel our lad. And refueling won't be so much of an issue later on, apparently, because you can research remote power charging solutions and all that. Our inventory is finite, by the way, but there are ways of increasing that as well. And we have ourselves the ability to make a lab, and also the electromagnetic matrix, which will feed our research. Nice. So let's make sure that we've also got the next bit of research, the assembler machine, because we will be needing that to create our automation chain to actually get things sorted. Right, so we just need some components. We need a bunch of this, and we can make loads of those. Let's, as usual, overproduce, so we've got a buffer for later on, for various things. And now we've actually been given a free lab, which is very nice, very kind of the game. Let's plonk it there. So the lab is a bit more confusing than you think, because the lab can do two different things.
You can use it to make super matrices, or research technologies that require them to unlock. The super matrices are the source code of the center brain for maintaining the homeworld. You can upload as many super matrices to the center brain as possible. You can be benefit to unlock more actual world technologies by operating the homeworld simultaneously.
Right, so whilst he's been whittering on, I've been trying to sort out our power issues, because we need to make the grid a bit bigger. And we've also researched the assembling machine, which we'll get onto shortly. Let's bung in a few extra turbines, because we will be needing that. It's going to take a while to actually make, so in fact what I'll do is I'll be extending the grid over to here to make sure that the lab will eventually be able to get some power. And oh yes, here we go, the wind turbines are now finally being built, so we'll plonk them in places which aren't going to get in the way of anything else. Possibly on sand, where there's no ore and all that. Am I making any more? Yes, I am. I'm making quite a few of these. Right, that should give us enough power. We have at least 2.4 megawatts in the grid, and we are using up to about 2 at the moment, I think. It fluctuates wildly. So yes, there's two different modes for this, as I was saying. You can either produce the boxes, or you can turn the boxes into research. So you can't do both at once, so we'll need 2 labs. You can also stack them on top of each other. This guy, I want to make sure that we produce the blue cubes, because we need these raw materials, we need magnetic coils and circuit boards, which we do need to assemble out of even more basic materials, using the assembler machine. And when the blue cubes come out of this matrix lab, we can put it into a different matrix lab and automate the actual research stuff that's going on. So no, frankly. Right, okay, so we now need to start feeding it with those things that we talked about, circuit boards and coils. So first of all, let's see. I think magnets, let's have a look. Magnets require iron ore put through a smeltery. And you can't use ingots for this, you actually have to use iron ore directly. So what I think I'll do, I think I'll actually make a bunch of new miners. Oh, we need loads of stuff. I think it's because I've actually run out of iron ingots myself. So let's go to the storage thing, which is becoming increasingly useless, this storage box. I think we'll end up deleting that or something. We don't need to keep on filling it up with stuff. Right, so let's build ourselves a mine. Or 5. Let's build... Oh, we can only build 1? Oh, because we haven't got any magnetic coils. I should be able to make some, though. I think that's why we need iron ore in our inventory. Otherwise it's not going to work. Let's take all that out. Right, that sped things up. Right, nice. Excellent stuff. So, we can build a bunch of miners now. We can do 26 in total, but let's make 4. It's a very arbitrary number, but never mind. We've already got one produced, so let's place this. Hopefully not too much of an overlap with the existing, but... I mean, we could try to like pull off some of the iron ore from this conveyor belt using a sorter, but let's not get into complicated logistics at the moment. Let's place a Tesla tower there to make sure that we've got power. And then we need conveyor belts. Have we actually got conveyor belts? I don't think we have. We're going to have to produce a bunch of these, I think. We can produce 75. I think we produce 3 at once, so let's go for 60 conveyor belts, which will be very tasty indeed. That'll take a while to actually produce, though. Right, so conveyor belt coming out of there, and then going across to... Well, we'll need a smelter. Well, let's take this as far as I can first. Round the side of the water. Might be ideal. Go to there, and then decide exactly what we're going to do about... Have we got a smeltery in stock? I think we have. Right, so I'll place that... Yeah, that'll do. A sorter, we'll need to put it into the machine. We'll need to power it. There we go. And sooner or later that will start placing iron ore into here, but it looks like the drones are being a bit slow and haven't quite finished the conveyor belt. So iron ore will come into here, and we'll need to make magnets. Magnets and copper. I think it's magnets and copper for the next stage, which will turn into... Yeah, magnetic coils is what we need. And the circuit boards will require also copper ore, but also iron ore. So copper ore seems to be the thing. Yeah, so at the moment the copper ore is taking... the copper ingots is going into the box. I keep on saying ore instead of ingots. We don't really want them going into the box, so I'll probably get rid of the all that sort of stuff, because we will be doing other stuff with that. Right, so I think we'll probably need a couple more assembling machines. We've already got one, haven't we? So that's a start. So we can first of all turn copper ore into... Well, copper ingots and magnets into something. And I'll put that there. So that's going to be a quite long conveyor belt over to there. And then what I'll do... I'll continue to actually do that. And so we've finally, once we've got the power sorted, we've finally got the ability to make coils. And then the coils can be conveyed into the lab. Core energy will deplete soon. Thankfully, I think I've got quite a few logs, so let's plug that into there. I'll have to remember to get some more. In fact, let's just fully load it up with all the power solutions. There we go. Nice. Right, so that is... It's not getting any coils at the moment. Oh yes, because we haven't got a thing coming out of there yet. There we go. So it's hard to see these things, but they're there. They're on the conveyor belt. Bloody day-night cycle. And it looks like once we put a couple of sorters on this. There we go. So we're starting to fill it up with one of the two things that we need. Now we need to do the circuit boards. I haven't really got like a one eye on like expanding this later on, like expanding capacity. I'm just basically building one at the moment for this. So now we need to make the circuit boards in another assembler. So we will need to... This is time to actually make one of these damn things. Let's make again a few. So this time we need... I already know this. Copper ingots and iron ingots. So we'll need to probably split the belt. Well, let's see if we can actually do a nice little hot splitting action. We still haven't actually made the assembly machine yet, so that's going to take a bit of time. We'll probably need to make some more conveyor belts as well, because we've only got 3. 3 is not enough. So 30 of those will do. And it looks like the assemblers are about to come online. There we go. Nice. Right, okay, so I'll put the assembler... This needs to be near iron ore and stuff. Let's put this... I might actually put this over here, funnily enough. So this over here does get in the way a bit. It's a bit of a waste of some of the iron ore or ingots that we've made, but never mind. So we need to take this over to here, but then we'll need to press up to make the conveyor belts go up in the air. It's a bit tricky to see what I'm doing here because there's various things in the way. And then... Oh, I didn't quite do that very well, did I? But never mind. Right, so that's going to go into there. So the iron ingots are going to go into here. We'll choose that. And the copper ingots also need to go in. I wonder. I might just be able to do that. That might work. We'll see. Anyway, the drones have almost finished doing... Oh, what? They're being inefficient. Never mind. So it looks like, yes, here we go. The copper... Oh, actually, do we need to do that? Is that what we need to do? Well, we shouldn't... This is not ideal. I don't really want to share conveyor belts. Otherwise this happens. Let's do it on separate ones. Instead. Which means another sorter. We need to delete that existing sorter as well, because it was a silly idea. I'm ashamed of it. Anyway, now we need to do one more of these. And that should hopefully start pumping in the copper ingots, and then the iron. Well, yeah, this will just get rid of these. Uh-oh. Hang on. Yeah, I'll drag that out and put it in my inventory. Now, there we go. Now we just need one final sorter, like that. And now we are finally producing the goddamn circuit boards, which can now get fed into... Well, we just need to quickly make a few more of these. Nearly there. Nearly bloody there, but we haven't quite got enough. God damn it. Maybe I'll just be able to do this, actually. I think you can stretch the sorters that far. There we go. And there we go, have it. We are actually now producing blue matrices. So in the first video, if I'd known what the end game was to actually build this research, I would have arranged all this a bit better. So I've done okay with what we've got. So the next stage is to build another lab, so we can actually get the research fully automated. We don't have glass, which is odd. We turn stone into glass. I think, let me just double check. You do that as a smelter. So thankfully we built a bunch of miners, so this shouldn't take too long. Place it there. Smelter. We haven't got any spare of these. Let's produce a couple of them. Oh, this is going to take a while to actually get everything going. And we also need to power it, so we will need to extend this grid, that's for sure, soon. Let's be building a couple more towers. Yeah, I really want to get into better stuff. In fact, let's be doing some research. Or can we? I don't think we can until we've got the blue cubes. No. We'll have to wait until we've actually got some more of the blue cubes. Although, having said that, we've technically already got them. Well, some of them anyway, because it can only produce 10 and then it stops. So I've already grabbed 10. So you can manually do the research. I mean, I could, for instance, select... Let's skip fluid and go straight onto plasma control. And this... Remote transmission facility can consume electricity from the power grid to charge the mecha. So that might be quite cool, so let's do that. Now, because we've got 10 blue cubes in my inventory, it's sucking that into the research and doing that manually. Later on we won't need to do this manually, but just proof of concept, really. Right, okay, so now we can do this. We can build... What are we building? We're building a smelter, aren't we? We've got a couple of these. Don't need a very long conveyor here. Right, so I need to choose a recipe, and we're making glass. Now, I'm not actually going to take that anywhere. Since we won't need a huge amount of glass yet, all I'm going to do is let it smelt into glass. And then I'll pick this up whenever I can be bothered. If I was sensible, I'd conveyor belt it into a storage unit to really get as much glass as we can, but I think at some point I'll probably want to change this from glass into something else like silicon, which is an upcoming resource that we need to investigate. Now we can make one more lab. That's not very many. It's because I've only got one glass. By now we should have got a bit more. 26, that'll do. So I'll be queuing up another couple of research labs. Right, so I'm going to place this here, very close. And then we need just again with the conveyor belts and sorters. Power the whole district. And we need to change this into... So this needs to be research mode instead. So now we're turning the blue cubes into research. This is going to be a slow old process. On the upside, what we can do is now we've built a couple more labs, is we can bung another on top. Like that. And you can see that sped things up somewhat. However, it's using up more than we're actually producing, so we can also put another lab on top of this. Like that. And it'll automatically take care of things. You don't need to, like, add new conveyor belts or whatever. And that'll speed our research up, well, by double, I guess, provided that we are able to supply it with enough circuit boards and coils, which it looks like, so far, we are. So we have got our research district up and running. Woo-hoo! Now there are multiple levels of research cubes. This is just the first one, the blue. But anyway, I've now researched this technology without me having to lay another finger on the controls. You have mastered the plasma, blah blah blah. You can build a wireless power tower for... Oh, a tower of power! for remote power transmission and charge mecha. Then you can continue to study crude oil extraction and refining based on this technology. Ooh. Right, let's see what is what with the whole power thing. Here it is, a wireless power tower. But for that, we will need more materials. We need plasma exciter, which is constructed out of various other things as well. So that's going to be a whole thing. So won't do that quite now. So we'll finish off by doing some research into universal exploration. This only requires 10 cubes. It's all flickering all over the bloody place. Requires 1800 hashes, this. And this is the first step on the planet, is the first step towards universe exploration. Everything is strange and fascinating. So this is just something that... Well, let's let it play out, because it's literally about to finish already. That's how fast things are now.
You have unlocked the universe exploration. Now you can click the details display button in the lower right corner of the screen to open real-time distribution details of the ore veins.
Which is basically what I've already done. So if we go into... Was it M, wasn't it? If we go into M... So now, if we toggle this, we can actually see where all the veins are. We already know where the iron... Well, everything around us are, but if you actually go out to this view, we can have a bit of a look around. There's the dark side of the planet. Or the moon, I think it is. And there's crude oil, more coal, all the basic stuff. So we haven't got silicon, something that we will need to do at some point. You can get silicon veins, or you can turn stone into silicon using basic smelting. In fact, you can use that smelter right over there, but not until you've researched the technology. And there's plenty of technology to research. I mean, there's thermal power. That's something that we should probably do. Because yes, we will be able to then build coal-powered power solutions. And we can also probably do... Yeah, this is how we make silicon available, so we can enqueue that. Steel smelting requires stuff that we can make already, and improve logistics. So we've queued up an absolute fuck ton of research there, which will it'll slowly just get on with it, which is all rather wonderful. But we'll stop here and hopefully pick this up again in more videos if people are still interested in watching me play this. I really want to get off this planet and explore the rest of the solar system, and maybe beyond. So do subscribe to Randomise User to be notified when new stuff goes live about all the latest and best new indie games around. If you want to say thanks, check out Buy Me a Coffee, the link's on the screen and in the description, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.